I can see people's sins. Growing up, I always thought I had a sixth sense. I could always tell exactly what a person would do before they would do it. It was usually the worst possible outcome. As I got older, I always chalked it up to being paranoid and expecting the worst out of everyone. For example, when I was in 10th grade, my birthday was coming up, and I just knew in the bottom of my heart that my best friend would skip out on my birthday to hang out with her boyfriend. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. But that had to be a coincidence. There's no way I could have known that events would unfold exactly like that. But what if I did? I think I can see people's sins. It just escalated more than a feeling in my gut telling me what someone will do. I've started to visualize complete pictures of scenarios that are just appearing in my head. It's not like I go blind when I'm walking down the street and see all this take place in my head. It's almost like two simultaneous pictures at the same time. I can still see my surroundings through my eyes, like nothing changed at all, but I can also see a whole movie playing out in my head. It's like a dual screen computer where I can watch both screens at the same time without missing any details. The first time the visualization started was just yesterday morning. I was walking down the streets of New York City after I had made my morning commute and just got off the bus at Port Authority. I was walking near Times Square and by Broadway when the vision kind of hit me all at once. There was a homeless man on the street that I pass every day. He has a small little dog that is with him, and he's always on the same street corner. I give him a sandwich sometimes on my way home, but I definitely knew who it was occupying my vision. I saw this homeless man, except he didn't look homeless. He had long hair still, but it looked groomed and well kept. He also didn't have a beard, and was wearing pretty tight-fitting clothes, which is in stark contrast to the baggy clothes and coats that he usually wears out on the streets. I also saw this man inside of a home. He was standing in the middle of a kitchen somewhere, screaming at the top of his lungs. I couldn't see who he was yelling at, but his face kept turning a darker shade of purple with each passing second. He turned and knocked a glass off the counter and smashed it onto the floor, and immediately walked over the glass, crunching it between his shoe and the floor. He moved closer to whoever he was screaming at, while being seemingly oblivious to the very broken glass littering the floor. All of a sudden, he whips his arm back and slaps whoever he was yelling at. He must have smacked them hard too, because immediately I could see his eyes following something as it fell down to the floor. I saw him leaving. I saw him heaving, out of breath for a minute longer, before he turned to walk away. As he's walking away, his rage clearly satisfied, he slips on a piece of glass and falls to his knees, on top of the glass shards. He quickly stands back up, not to be embarrassed in front of whoever he just humiliated, and I could see blood dripping down from his left knee. And that's where it ended. After seeing all of this, I had to stop walking. I thought I had just an overactive imagination, spinning some sort of fantasy about someone that I see on the street every day. But I remember reading somewhere that it's impossible for the brain to fantasize or dream about somewhere it's never been, or someone it's never seen, and I have definitely never been to that kitchen before. I may have just imagined the man I saw, but it was too weird a coincidence. I regained my composure next to a couple of garbage cans on the street, and kept walking on my commute. Until it happened again. This time I knew it was not my imagination, because I had never seen this person before in my life. She walked past me so quickly and so closely that my shirt ruffled slightly by the wind she created. I caught just a glimpse of the side of her face, and immediately I was plunged back into the throes of a vision I had never asked for. I saw her standing in front of a bar cart. She had tears streaming down her face, and mascara marks extending all the way down her cheeks. She held a whiskey glass in one hand, and slowly scooped ice into the glass, poured some brown alcohol, and quietly stirred it all around. She put the stirrer down, and pulled out a small vial from inside of her bra. She looked over her shoulder both ways, just to make sure there was no one watching, and poured a small amount of liquid from the vial into the drink. She quickly stirred the drink again, put it down, and used the back of her hands to wipe off the tears and mascara from her cheeks. She plastered a fake smile on her face, grabbed the cup, and walked through a hallway to a room with a large TV. She handed the glass to someone, and like the last vision, I could see her eyes following something, or someone, fall to the floor, but just like before, I couldn't see who or what it was. I pulled out my phone and immediately called in sick and turned around and took the bus back home, where I've been all day. I don't know what's happening to me, but I don't know if I can brave the New York City streets again on Monday without being at least a little prepared for whatever is happening. I think I can see the sins of people I pass by, and I think they may be committing crimes. This is Kinetic Symphony. If you've enjoyed this narrated story, please subscribe and like the video to help me grow. Thank you.